This episode is the second in a series on mastering creative thinking skills. Future episodes will explore each skill. Today, we're talking about convergent thinking. Convergent thinking sharpens your mind, focusing creativity towards finding not just any solution, but the most effective. Master it, and you turn challenges into opportunities, blending analysis with imagination to unlock unparalleled potential. Before we jump, don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss future episodes in the series. Let's jump in. Convergent thinking is a creative thinking skill that enables individuals to solve problems by narrowing down multiple possibilities to find the best possible solution. Unlike divergent thinking, which involves generating many ideas in a free-flowing, open-ended manner, convergent thinking demands precision, critical analysis, and logical reasoning. It is pivotal in decision-making processes, especially when clear answers are demanded. Convergent thinking is the silent force behind every decision, from the simplest daily tasks to the more complex projects in the workplace. Its role in shaping our lives, driving progress, is undeniable, making its mastery a non-negotiable skill for personal and professional success. So, what is the science behind convergent thinking? Recent research into the neural mechanisms of it have shed light on how our brains execute this focus type of problem solving with convergent thinking. Studies utilizing neuroimaging techniques have identified that convergent thinking primarily engages the left hemisphere of our brain, known for its analytical and logical capabilities. Specifically, areas involved in processing language and memory and problem-solving tasks show increased activity during convergent thinking exercises. This suggests that the ability to perform convergent thinking is rooted in the fundamental structures of our brain, underscoring its natural basis. Evidence points to the prefrontal cortex's role in managing the convergent thinking process by evaluating potential solutions based on logic and known information. Interestingly, while convergent thinking relies on well-established neural pathways, research also shows that its efficiency and effectiveness can be enhanced. It can be improved through targeted training and practice. Such findings highlight the impressive plasticity of the human brain and suggest that even though convergent thinking is a natural cognitive process, there is significant potential for individuals to develop and improve this skill over time, therefore enhancing their problem and decision-making abilities. So, what are the barriers? What hold us back from convergent thinking? Well, there are numerous barriers to really being effective in convergent thinking. And it's inherent in our cognitive processes and that arise from external factors. These include the fear of failure. The fear of failure or making the wrong decision can paralyze individuals, preventing them from committing to a single solution, even when they possess all the information necessary. 2. Cognitive overload. Cognitive overload occurs when the brain is bombarded with too much information, leading to decision fatigue and a decrease in the ability to discern the most valuable solution. Stress. Stress and emotional turbulence can disrupt the brain's logical processing capabilities, impairing cognitive thinking. 4. Lack of knowledge or expertise. A lack of knowledge or specific expertise in a given area limits our ability to analyze and evaluate possible solutions effectively, making it challenging to identify the best course of action. And number 5, and one everybody suffers from, rigid thinking patterns. Rigid thinking patterns is a reluctance to change or challenge existing beliefs, and it can really hinder our ability to apply convergent thinking to its full potential. Now, these barriers underscore the complexities of optimizing this cognitive process and highlights the needs for strategies to overcome these challenges. So, let's talk about this convergent thinking and the process required for evaluating multiple ideas effectively, and what are some of the tools you can use. So, here are some practical methods and tools that can help select the best solution. So it's not just all on your shoulder. You can take off some of that stress, that fear of making the bad decision. They're not going to give you the automatic answer, but by applying different tools, you can open up your thinking so you get out of the rigid thinking process, but it'll help you bubble up the ideas that you should probably take and look closer at. First up, the SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's very common in business courses. So SWOT analysis is really a strategic planning tool that can help individuals and groups identify the best options by evaluating against these 4 critical aspects. Now, this approach encourages a thorough examination of potential decisions. Number 2, and the one that I use most, is criteria ranking. This tool evaluates and compares a plethora of ideas against a set of questions or a set of criteria. Each option is scored against the criteria, making it easier to see which choice ranks higher overall. This technique is useful for both individual and group decision-making processes. I have written about this a lot. There are chapters in my book about it. There have been multiple podcasts and multiple videos. So, plenty of content if you want to dive into criteria, decision-making, or what is referred to in the FIRE framework that I show in my book. It is the R, or ranking. How do you rank all of the ideas to know which are the ones that are the ones you should focus on? So, and in particular, in my book, I show how I create the criteria for a project that I did for the U.S. Department of Education. Number 3, brainstorming, followed by prioritization. Brainstorming is typically associated with divergent thinking, but it can be paired with convergent thinking techniques, such as prioritization or voting. In this case, voting could be what we call dot voting or while voting. But so it's after generating a wide range of ideas, individual groups can evaluate them based on predefined voting methodologies. To select, everybody gets 5 dots, and you go and vote on the idea based on up on a flip chart or whatever. And again, this has been covered in my book. Check it out. You can also go back to the podcast archive at Killer Innovations, or you can search into the YouTube video backlog. Number 4, pros and cons list. Pretty simple. It's a very effective tool for weighing the advantages and disadvantages of each option. This method facilitates a clear understanding of the potential impact of each decision, aiding in the selection of the best course of action. When I'm mentoring, particularly new hires, etc., the example I use on pros and cons is the decision on to spend money, right? Sit down with your spouse, pros on the left, cons on the right. You want to go buy a new car, What are the pros of it? What are the cons of it? Facilitates a discussion. You two come to a decision, and there's clarity in the decision-making process. Try it out, and then apply it to things around the office. And number 5 is a fishbone diagram, also known as an Ishikawa or cause and effect diagram. It helps identify the root causes of a problem. And then once the underlying causes are understood, it becomes easier to converge on the most effective solutions by addressing the core issues rather than the symptoms. So, whether working alone or as part of a team, these approaches facilitate a structured methodology to sift through ideas and solutions, ensuring the selection of the most effective and efficient outcomes. So, you've got tools, you've got frameworks, you've got mindset, But what about how do you master convergent thinking? Well, mastering convergent thinking involves cultivating this mindset geared towards efficiency and optimal solution finding, along with engaging in targeted exercises that sharpen your skills. So here's how you can achieve mastery in convergent thinking. First off is you got to have the right mindset. Just as I talked about it in the divergent thinking with mindset, mindset plays an important role in your creative thinking skills. You need a mindset for convergent thinking. First up, openness to experience. Be open to exploring diverse knowledge areas, as this will widen your perspective and enhance your solution finding capabilities. Don't assume that just because you've solved a similar problem in the past, it automatically works. You want to have a variety of experiences. You want to have that perspective and the different perspectives that you bring so that you see problems with fresh eyes. 2, persistence. Convergent thinking often requires persistence to sift through information and ideas to find the best possible solution. Cultivate the resiliency to keep looking for solutions even when the answer is not immediately apparent. Next, you have to have a mindset of adaptability. Be willing to adapt your approaches based on the problems at hand. Flexibility in thinking ensures you can apply the most appropriate strategies to finding solutions. Now, what are some of the exercises that you can do to improve your convergent thinking? First up, a daily decision-making practice. Intentionally practice making decisions on a daily basis, ranging from simple choices like what to wear to more complex decisions like planning a project. Reflect on the process and the outcomes to refine your decision-making process skills. Now, some of you may be laughing because I've actually done episodes on why do people always see me in cowboy boots, my blue jeans, and my black golf shirt. It's because of cognitive load. I purposely have a very monochromatic wardrobe specifically so I don't have to make that decision. So while I'm saying here, figure out how you make your criteria, I've made my criteria. My criteria in the decision making on what to wear is driven by reducing my cognitive load. I don't want to have to think about what I'm going to put on today. I walk in, it's the exact same thing. I wear the exact same brand of jeans. I wear the exact same brand of shirt. I wear the exact same brand of cowboy boots. Yes, it's boring. My wife hates it. A lot of people comment on it. The annual influx of interns always get a big chuckle out of it, but it's me. So, next is use case studies. Case studies very popular for graduate programs like at Stanford or MIT or Harvard. But you can go online, you can find them, you can actually buy case studies from the major universities, and there are a lot of really good case studies on innovation and how companies came up with strategies on innovation, so it's actually a good input for that. But regularly analyze case studies relevant to your field or interest or the problem you're facing. This exercise helps understand the application of convergent thinking in real-world scenarios, focusing on problems were identified and solved. Next, play logic puzzles. Play strategy games. Engage regularly with logic, strategy games, and similar activities that require you to analyze information and make strategic decisions. These activities train your brain to focus, evaluate, and deduce the optimal path or solution. 4. Role-playing scenarios. Participate or create role-playing scenarios that require problem solving. This could include things like escape rooms. The strategy helps apply theoretical knowledge to practical situations, improving your ability to converge on effective solutions in a variety of contexts. 5. Collaborative problem solving. Working as a group on projects or tasks that require collaborative problem solving helps you hone your convergent thinking skills. The exchange of ideas and perspectives can lead to more effective solution finding, broadening your approach to problem solving, and then implementing these steps consistently with dedication. When you think about all of those things we just talked about, in mastering your convergent thinking and making it a valuable asset for both personal and professional. Now, convergent thinking, and how do you incorporate this into your creative processes? It requires a deliberative effort to balance it with divergent thinking. You don't want to be just a convergent thinker. You don't want to be just a divergent thinker. You have to combine the book. You got to put them together. So here are the strategies to make convergent thinking a habitual component of your creative routine. First, set clear objectives before beginning any creative project. This will define the criteria you use on the analysis. You need to define your goals. You need to define your constraints. This sets the framework for the creative process, and it ensures that convergent thinking has a direction from the start. Don't just do let's come up with ideas for products. And then now, how do you select? Well, is a good product one that maximizes margin or generates revenue or is low cost to manufacture, whatever. You need to have the criteria up front, then go through developing the ideas. Now you have a criteria for the selection. 2, allocate time for convergence. A lot of projects don't think about convergent thinking. So designate specific times in the creative process for focusing solely on convergent thinking. So after you got done with the brainstorming session, set aside time to analyze, synthesize, and select the best ideas. 3, practice decision-making skills. Strengthen your decision-making skills by regularly engaging in exercises that challenge your ability to choose between options quickly and efficiently. This will make decision-making more intuitive. There's some videos on YouTube where people are challenging this one particular doctor with one upfront test result, and the doctor goes through his decision-making, asking questions to get to the diagnosis. It's amazing, and he does it within 60 seconds. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted. Those are the kinds of exercises in your field that you should be trying to replicate. Not that so that you can make fast decisions, but it validates the logic. That's what you're trying to do, is build and rebuild and reinforce the logic path to the decision-making process. In this case, this doctor has a logic decision tree to go from one simple test result to diagnosing a condition. 4, cultivate critical thinking. You always need to be working on your critical thinking skills by constantly asking questions about the feasibility, the efficiency, the practicality of ideas. Regularly engaging activities that challenge your analytical abilities can improve your convergent thinking skills, in addition to improving your critical thinking skills. 5, reflect and review. After completing a project, do a postmortem. Reflect on the decisions made during the convergent phase. Evaluate that effectiveness of choice and consider how different approaches could lead to improved outcomes in the future. And in reality, that's how I invented the FIRE framework. I reverse engineered how I would innovate and how I made decisions, and then tested it, reinforced it, and that's what's in my book, Beyond the Obvious. So, and the key here is by integrating these strategies into your creative problem-solving workflows, you can make convergent thinking a more natural and effective part of your process, leading to more targeted, more innovative, and practical solutions that you can actually implement and bring to market. So, mastering convergent thinking is not just an enhancement of your cognitive toolkit. By weaving it together, the threads of critical decision-making, focused analysis, and strategic planning, you can develop a powerful approach to creative thinking that leads to efficient and effective innovations. This potent blend of creativity and precision prepares you to distill vast oceans of ideas into innovations is more than a skill. It's a superpower in today's fast-paced world.